All right. All right, you guys, thank you so much for hopping on tonight. Typically, the English calls are on Thursdays, but today I wanted to check in early in the week to see how things are coming along with the new program with Muscle Burn Fat. I want to talk about everything, starting from nutrition to your progress, to your frustrations, to your gains, to your obstacles, because this is what a journey is all about. For those of you that don't know me, because I see a lot of faces that I don't recognize, which is good, which is great. I'm Gabby. I've been a coach on this team for 6 years. I started just like all of you guys as a challenger. I wanted to lose post-baby weight. In a year, I lost 50 pounds. And I am your girl that never has been into fitness, never has been outdoorsy, never been into sports. And I have to say that Beachbody is definitely, has been the total solution for me and has been so life-changing, because it's definitely allowed me to gain so much from it. Yes, I lost 50 pounds and I do celebrate that because it wasn't something that happened overnight, and it took a lot of commitment. It took a lot of, perseverance, me showing up, right? But most of all, it's everything that I've gained from that experience, and that's why I continue to be here. And so today, if you didn't watch my live with my husband, we talk about how we're going to continue, I make a post from time to time telling people like, I've invited you 6 years ago, and I invited you 5 years ago, and then 4 years, and then 3 years, and 2 and 1, and I'm still here, and I'm still gonna invite you. Why? Because to me, this has been such a gift, right? It's changed my life in all areas, not just physically, right? Because I feel that if you change your life internally, like if you start with inside, that's just gonna be a result of it. But the fact that, I've changed mentally, emotionally, spiritually, when you start to change in one area of your life, you guys, it's gonna pour into other areas of your life. And so, I am so excited that we get to share this journey with each other. I am so excited that you're here. I'm so excited that you're experiencing this. And so tonight is about you, right? Typically we choose a topic and we talk about something that can be helpful to you guys. Along this journey, we go through, ups and downs, and that's what it is, right? It's not going to be perfect. And I talk to all my challengers. It's not going to be perfect. And if you want it to be perfect, then you're in the wrong place, because we're not perfect beings, number one, but it can't be perfect, right? Because then what do you learn from it? You have to fail so that you can learn and move forward, right? You got to fail so that you can impact not only your life, but the lives of those around you. And so the only way that we get to grow is by, confronting these obstacles. So I want to talk, tonight about what are you experiencing, through this journey? Have you had any obstacles? How are you conquering those? Or I know I hear a lot of the progress. You guys are losing weight. You guys are feeling more energized. You guys are implementing habits that perhaps maybe before you didn't have. I see, a lot of the ladies from the 630 crew, right? The first of all, that's another thing. I'm not a morning person, right? Does that even exist? A morning person. My thing was, when I was in corporate, I would wake up and I would have to go to work. So it was not like, it wasn't a choice. I had to get up to go to work to, right, earn that money so I can pay the bills. And I remember just feeling like, man, like if I can just get to Wednesday, and then once Wednesday arrived, it was like, if I can just get to Friday, right? And then when Friday was, finally here, I was like, yes, and then I can enjoy the weekend. And then it was Sunday and I would never enjoy Sunday. So when I became, a stay-at-home mom, and then I decided to become, a full-time Beachbody coach, like deciding when I could wake up was such a big win. I was like, I can wake up whenever, right? But then when my son started to go to school and I had to wake up earlier again, I'm like, man, what happened to waking up late? But now I make a choice to wake up at 5:45, and those are, habits that you implement because you want to better your life. And so, I wake up at 5:45 to spend time with God, and that's because it, that moment with God just sets the day for me, right? It sets the day for me. And when I don't do it, you guys, I feel off, completely off. And my day is messy and I feel, that things are not falling into place. But the moment I do it again, I just see that God, blesses me. And what I love about God is that God is not searching for perfection. He's searching for perseverance. He wants us to continue to try to be better, right? To try to search for him more and more every day. And so to me, this has been life-changing because of that, because you get to choose that. And, and the fact that I see many of you guys jump on that 6:30, I'm not saying it's easy. It's still not easy for me to wake up at 5:50, 5:45 in the morning. But once I'm up, right? And once you press play, you feel good. And once you're done, half hour later, you feel accomplished. And then, we always talk, Jorge and I always talk about how when you start to check, to accomplish those things that you promise yourself or keep your, those goals, even if they're small, what ends up happening? Your confidence increases, right? You feel accomplished, you feel empowered. And so, and that's what this journey is about, right? Feeling, yes, you want to, lose weight because, sometimes losing weight is necessary to get healthy, right? But ultimately, it's about being healthy. It's about feeling good inside, and that's going to project outside. So enough about, me. Let's talk about you guys. Tell me, unmute yourself. Tell me how it's going. Tell me, tell me anything, progress, wins you want to share. If you're, if you're struggling with something, whether that's nutrition or, or that's the exercise, whatever it is. So unmute yourself. Don't be afraid.
Well, I guess I'll go first. I guess I'm a very shy person, but I have been waking up at 4:45 to start working out for the 5 a.m. crew, which has been a challenge. But I'd say nutrition is my biggest thing, like meal prepping. I'm not a meal prepper at all. Like meal prep for us is like, what's in the fridge? Like what can we make kind of thing. But I'm not a planner by any means. So that's where I struggle the most.
But you're progressing in other areas, right? So we want to celebrate the fact that you are waking up early. What time? 4:45?
The alarm clock goes up 4:45, and then we start around 5:15. But I have to be at work at 8, so that gives me time to get ready. And I'm in the corporate world as well, and it's just Monday through Friday kind of thing. But it's waking up earlier. It's been a challenge.
Where do you live, Katie?
I'm sorry?
Where do you live?
I live in Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you're close to Karen.
Yep, that's who my coach is.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
J-Ville.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, congratulations for, putting that new habit into place, because I'm sure 4:45 is not easy, right? So let's celebrate that. Let's celebrate the big win. And, what can you do better to meal prep? What do you think you can do better?
Yeah, something I've never meal prepped before, so I'm kind of I see I'm in plan C for the and my stuff will be here Friday too, so that kind of gives me more flex. I can do the containers and everything.
You don't have them yet?
Not yet. I get them Friday. Yeah, it's been on back order, but it's just that planning phase. I can't sit down and be like, okay, I'm gonna do this Monday and this Tuesday and this Wednesday. I'm just like, I'm not a planner.
So,
That's
so what I can tell you about meal prep is I would pick a day where you go food shopping. That's important, right?
mm,
And I would typically say, assign that to be either Friday or Saturday to just get that out of the way, right?
mm,
And then choose one of the days of the weekend to meal prep. And typically what we do here is that we meal prep for like 3 days, right? Because there's so many of us here.
mm,
And it can be something simple that you're not going to be in the kitchen. At first, it might take you a little longer than usual
mm,
because you're not used to doing it, right? But you have to get used to the process.
right.
The other thing is that if you go to, because you're going to be following the portion control system.
I'm gonna look at both of them. I've been already looking at them, but I think it's the portion control one.
Yep, with Autumn. Okay, so what I would suggest is she has a ton of videos on meal prepping.
Mm-hmm.
And just some quick suggestions is wash your fruit, right? And what you can do is, so that you know what you're having, like put them in baggies, right? So
Yeah.
put them in baggies so they're good to, you can even put meal 1, meal 2, whatever it is. The other thing is we posted a video where Jorge put some chicken and the
Yeah, I saw that.
and so
Mm-hmm.
super simple, we would sometimes we boil it, sometimes we put it in the oven.
Mm-hmm.
Hard time to put anything in the oven these days, right? Because it's so.
Yeah.
But you find a way where if it's chicken, for us, chicken is so simple because you can use it in so many ways. You can use it for salads, for wraps, for tacos,
Mm-hmm.
right? And we just have a bunch made, and then like yesterday we had tacos, and then
Right.
today we had a wrap. And so it's simple, and then we have our vegetable, whether that is our kale mix. My sister, what she does is that she prepares the night before or that
Mhm.
morning for the entire day. You have to run right in the morning, so you can't be prepping in the morning. So say you can't do it on Sunday, I would suggest for you to do it on on the night before. But I'm going to open it up for the ladies who are meal prepping. What is your recommendation for Katie?
Hi, Abigail
Hey,
here.
Gabby. So I'm working. Sorry, guys. I was late. Hey, Katie. Okay, so one thing that I can tell you that I do, I'm always on the go, is I use a lot of frozen veggies. I know at work, I don't know if you have a microwave, but those microwave potatoes, the sweet potatoes, those are easy to make. They're done in 3 or 5 minutes. So like, I use things like that because I know I'm always on the go. So I don't know if that's something that can help you. Also, wraps, turkey slices are easy to have at work. I don't know if you have a fridge at work that you can have that. Wraps, like Gabby said, yogurt, things like that. And like Gabby said, if you try to prep, if meal prepping, for me, I can't reheat food a lot. So I try to prep the day before. And that's what's working for me in the truck. So I hope that's helpful.
You said you don't repeat food, Karen? You don't like to?
I try not to, girl. I can't.
See, we're eating with my family. We don't care. And I think that's why meal prep is so simple for us, because we make a ton and we have it for, as many days as it lasts. And typically it's like 3 days and then we got to do it again on Thursday.
Like if I eat it today and tomorrow, I'm okay. But by the 3rd day, I'm like, I'm done. You know what I mean?
But yeah, some people are like that. So I know my brothers are like that. They don't play that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I do have also a suggestion. Maybe you can prep on a bulk. That's something that I learned from one of the coaches. She's not here today. I don't know. From Wendy. You can do your rice, for the whole week. What I do is I prepare for 3 days, and that's been working for me. Like I do for Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Thursday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So I have like 3 options of dinner, like 2 options of dinner for 3 days. So something so you don't have to prepare something different every day. I mean, that's something that you can just try to do. And also what I learned from the group is like, if you make a list of the things that you want to eat, then you go through your list and go shopping, and you know what you really need. That's also that what helps you
And
for
that
meal prep.
impulse.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Definitely have you written out your list, Katie? Like your plan? You said you
I don't do, yeah, I kind of like just wing it.
I
So,
I have a plan C example if you want to see it, and but it is the time nutrition. I actually might have one that's not time nutrition, but what Christina was saying is spot on. Like, you know, things that you know you enjoy. Like we make quinoa here, quinoa, a lot of it, or you know, we don't make rice often in my house at all, but quinoa or pasta. We do either rice pasta, quinoa pasta. You know, they have healthier options. And also, but for us, it's having the list in front and knowing, okay, you know, this meal I'm supposed to have this container, this container, this container, and opening my fridge and being like, okay, I have quinoa, and I have chicken, and I have, you know, this vegetable that I made last night. Let me just put all of that together. You know what I mean? So having options is so important. Abigail, I know you wanted to say something. Did you want to unmute yourself?
Yeah, I was just gonna let her know since she doesn't have the containers. I know I had lost my blue container, and Wendy had told me how much goes in the blue container, and what I did was use what I have here. I'm not a meat eater, so I would do like eggs and stuff in the beginning, and supplement just what you like, but turn it into something healthy, if that's a good way to put it. Just something that you like, but it's a healthy lifestyle. So if you're wanting to do the portion control, the time nutrition, I can look up the sizes of what goes in here and I can put them in the messenger group right here. So that way you can at least start
It's in
portion
I
control.
looked at it twice already. It's in the,
If you
it's in
did-
warranty.
Okay,
Yep. It's
okay. So
Um,
yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
yeah, I'll do like a quick search and then bump it up, or it might even be under nutrition, but if it's not, I'll bump it up, but it's in there, yeah.
Oh, that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, some of you guys haven't received the containers, and so using the cup sizes for now is, you know, is important. Thank you, Kate,
Yeah.
for sharing. Anyone else?
Gabby, I just wanted to add to Katie, it can be really overwhelming to start meal prepping. So you want to maybe break down your goals. So if you work outside every day, like I do, I know I'm bringing lunch every day. That's a non-negotiable for me. I'll figure out dinner some other time when I get home, because I have the luxury of doing that. I don't have a kid asking me, you know, what's for dinner. So I will always bring my lunch, if anything, plus my snacks. So I know when I'm outside, I have more control over what I'm eating. And I use my Shakeology for breakfast. It's that simple. And I add a fruit into it. Or sometimes I add a veggie too. So once you get more familiar with what your count is, how many of each, you'll be able to, you know, see what works for you. And if meal prepping for 3 days or 7 days is too much, shoot for lunch or shoot for just breakfast for that week and find out what works for you.
There you go. Start small.
thanks. Mhm.
Anyone else wants to share something?
Gabby, I do want to share something. My name is Briseida. I'm in California. So this is the first time that I'm actually doing the measurements and that I'm eating like for real. Before I completed the 80 days, but I was only like, oh, I'm thinking I'm eating healthy and I'm doing my exercise, but I was not like really committed. So I can kind of relate to Katie because it is hard to keep the meal prep, and I have kids, 15, 6, and 4. So they want chicken nuggets, they want the pizza. So it was hard at the beginning, but right now, yeah, you're gonna eat your slide of pizza, but you're gonna eat your veggies. So instead of separating my food, you're gonna eat it too. It's healthy for you. You're gonna become strong, and I'm getting the hang of it. But it could be a little bit challenging. I just wanted to share that this is the first time that I'm doing the containers and my exercise, and I hope I can join you this Saturday. California time would be like 5, right?
So we're doing it this Saturday at 9. And
Okay, so it'll be 6.
9 is 6 for you. Yep. For
Okay.
for muscle burn fat, right?
Yes. Uh-huh. Okay. Thank you.
Oh, also, yeah, you know what time do you work out?
I do at 8 o'clock. Brisi.
8 a.m.
8 a.m. Mm-hmm.
We have some California girls. Maybe we'll put you guys like in a chat.
A group? Okay.
So maybe you guys can like discuss like a time so that you guys can also form a Zoom during the week. Maybe that's helpful too.
Yeah, of course. Send it over. Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Anyone else?
Hi, I wanted to say something. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. I have a few things that I want to say. The challenges that I'm having. I've had surgery done in my hands because I had carpal tunnel. So I'm finding very difficult to do like some of the exercises with my hands. And it does get me like a little bit discouraged because I feel like I'm not doing the actual 100% of what the exercises are. Mm-hmm. And I do modify them and improvise, but it's very hard to do them because it feels like my hands are gonna break. Like I can't do a normal push-ups. I can do half push-ups or like things that use my hands strain a lot. And I just wanted to let you guys know that it's hard, but I'm not giving up. I modified them and I keep on trying. And another thing that I wanted to say, I'm not a morning person. It's not gonna to this point. It's like I'm already like giving up on that. So my exercises, I normally do them in the evening, 7:30, 8, and it happens that it's working. I thought I was gonna give up and I'm not a morning person. This is not gonna work out for me. But it happens that I feel wonderful and energetic, and actually it helps me to get a better night's sleep. Because I'm a light sleeper and I was having a lot of trouble sleeping because I was suffering from depression and wasn't sleeping at night especially. And now that I'm doing the exercise, it's kind of like my body's so tired and feels so good that I doze out and go to sleep, and there's no crying because usually at nighttime is when you cry. When you're down, and it's a wonderful thing. And I hear you guys speaking about morning, but I just wanted to say, do encourage the evening too, because it does work. It's working for me, and tremendously.
What's your name? I'm sorry.
Suni.
What is it?
Suni. Yeah.
It's fun. Hang on. It's funny because I typically would work out during like around 10, 12, because I'm also, like I said, like I don't know what the morning person is, because I guess now I'm considered a morning person because I've never been a morning person. I don't know if that exists, whatever. But I know that for my husband, it's cloudier at night, like during the day, because he works from home now, it's too busy. He's always on conference calls. So if we were going to work out together, it was going to be in the morning, and we've done workouts together. So it works better for us. However, I can tell you that many people, I've heard many, even including him, that if you work out at night, and this obviously doesn't apply to you or me, because I've worked out in the evening before, I actually, same thing, like it knocks me out because I'm exhausted. Some people get energized from the actual workout that they cannot go to sleep. So you have to find what works for you, and if working out at night is better for you, then you found what works for you. You know what I mean? And I guess you kind of have to keep doing what works for you. But I know for some people, it kind of sets the day to work out early. So it's not to discourage you to work out at night, but I'm glad that you brought that up, because I actually have girls.
Believe me, I tried working and working out in the morning, and I've gotten to the point that I vomit. It makes me feel, like jittery, and then I vomit. So I'm like, this doesn't work for me. Yeah. I don't feel that.
Found what works, And I think everyone, I mean, I have girls that send me their pictures sometimes even later, like sometimes like 11 midnight, and I'm like, Dios mío, like I need to sleep, right? But as long as you get it in, that is what, you know, that what counts. So I'm happy
Yeah.
that you found
No,
your
as far as the hand exercising, I just, you know, I don't know if anybody's going through something like that, but I find it that it kind of gets you down, but if you are determined, that doesn't stop you. Like I try to modify the exercises. I know that I'm gonna get to my goal maybe later on because of that. Versus if I had the 100%, you know, with my hands, I will be able to probably get the results sooner and of what I want. But I'm still getting there.
Can I ask? You want to ask something?
No, add something.
Oh,
but
go ahead.
you wanted to ask.
I want to ask you. When was your surgery? Was this recently?
No, I had it done in I think it was 2018 or 19.
Now, is that, you know, is that normal? Like what you're experiencing right now? Did the doctor say, was that something that could happen?
I believe they never really like guarantee me that I was going to be 100% back to normal, to that strength. But they said that it was going to be okay. I did it because of after I had my baby, it happens to a lot of women, and they get that carpal tunnel and their hands and starts getting numb and falling asleep. And I guess I got it through that. Some people, I guess, get it hereditary.
Yeah.
And I had to have both of them, you know, they did the surgeries to correct or open up the nerves, or I don't know, because it was like a pinching nerve or something. And then after that, the strength, you know, I did the therapy with them that they give you, but it's never 100%.
What I can tell you though, I'm glad that you brought that up, is that I also have tennis elbow, and I didn't have it before, but I know for a fact that it all kind of started for me when I actually dislocated my right shoulder. And I was told, you know, don't exercise for 3 months. I didn't listen. I stopped exercising for only 3 weeks, and then I did. And so what happened was that I then injured this one, because this one was overcompensating for this one. And in all of that, I injured, you know, I have carpal tunnel as well, like you. I have the tennis elbow. But one thing that I do is that I listen to my body. And so, you know, my only competition is me, the person I'm watching, you know, in the mirror. And so, you know, I know how much I can lift, especially on the days that I am in pain. And so sometimes I'm a little higher, and sometimes I have to go lower, and I'm not hard on myself, because I know that I'm doing the best that I, you know, that I can, and I'm showing up in the best manner that I can that day. As long as I left it all there that day, I'm good to go, right? So don't be so hard on yourself. Do the most that you can, and the fact that you're here, the fact that you're showing up, the fact that you found what works for you and you haven't given up, and I know you won't, that's what counts. Okay?
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Just a little tip. I have carpal tunnel in my wrist from playing basketball years ago. Wear gloves or wrap your wrist with like an H bandage. It helps a lot. And then on the days that it's hurting you really bad, go down to those like 2 or 3 pound weights. It's okay, because with muscle burns fat, it's heavy, but as long as you're still, you know, doing it, just go down a little bit, like 2 or 3 pounds instead of 5, 10, or 15. You just got to work with what you can, okay? But you're doing great.
I haven't gotten to higher than 5. I can't. It just feels like it's gonna break. The max I did, I think it was 8.
Oh, okay.
I can't do more than that. But yeah, I haven't wrapped it or anything like that. I'm gonna try that. Thank you.
So I just wanted to add, first of all, hi, I'm Elena. My sister has it on speaker view every time someone speaks. And the first thing I thought when I saw you was like, man, she's beautiful. So I wanted to start by saying that.
Thank you.
And then I'm so happy that you shared about your pain struggle, because I said to her, did anybody talk yet about like physical injuries or pain or soreness, because very similarly to you, I have my own physical issues. So I have minor scoliosis on my lower back. And so this program is really challenging me physically. And every day I think about, wow, is this something that I should continue doing? Because, you know, part of me gets scared, like, am I going to hurt myself, things like that. And so I take it easy. Like right now you said I do 8 pounds, and I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't gotten up that. I think last week I was really hard on myself about it. And then towards the end of this week, beginning of this week, I've seen myself become stronger, the pain lessen. I'm trying different things. So I got a lumbar support band, waistband. So something like Abigail said, it might be helpful to like wrap it. And I want to see how that works. I want to, while at the same time honoring my body. And so exactly what my sister said, I think is spot on. Just listen to your body. You know yourself best. This is not a competition with anybody else. And no matter what, right? This is a slow journey progress. This is about overall health. And I think that no matter what you're going to, if you look for those changes beyond the scale, you're definitely going to see them. You just said one right now about how you're sleeping better. Mm-hmm. To me, and the fact that, at night you would cry and now you don't, that's to me is more powerful than if I lost 10 pounds, because I have been in that space, and that is a lonely, hard, and terrifying space. So I'd rather take that over 10 pounds that I may have lost. So I am so happy for you. Trust me, believe me, I have been there. And if you ever want to talk, I'm in the group. You can chat me or anything. And one thing I will share that I'll do is that at the end of this program, because I am going to finish it to the best of my ability, is I will reassess if it's the best program for me. And that's the beauty of Beachbody On Demand, right? That there is something for everybody. I don't know anything about wrist pain or anything like that. I don't think there's exercises on Beachbody On Demand. I know for me, I do a lot of stretching. I stretch at least 3 times a week, in addition to like almost every day, because I'm in a lot of pain on my lower back, but nothing that feels like, urgent. So I think that's the wonderful thing. We're getting a chance to really get in tune with our bodies. But
yeah, I like that advice. I really do. I think
the last thing I wanted to add is the first program I ever did with my sister was T25, and it was every day after work. So I have been the person that works out in the evening, and we had a crew that worked out in the evening. And so it does work. And I encourage you that I see tons of people posting later. If you guys want to create another group that works out later in the day after work hours, do it. I think that the more we spread that, the better it is. Mm-hmm. And you might find a buddy to link up with every day or a couple times a week.
Yeah, I would love that, because right now I'm a solo. I'm doing everything all alone, and I'm like, I want to share that energy.
You gotta find people in their room.
I used to work out at night as well. When I worked in corporate, when I first started with my journey, I was a afternoon work. I used to work out in the afternoon, and you are gonna get results in the afternoon. Also, I feel like, I don't know about Gabby and like all the other coaches that are on this team that have been doing this for a while. You guys, if this is your first program, give yourself some grace, okay? Give yourself some time to get adjusted to the workouts, to the nutrition plan, to everything. Because for me, I've been doing this for over 5 years. So it's like second nature, right? The more you do something, the easier it's going to get, right? So just give yourself the time to learn, to do better, to continue to improve. You're always going to get better. Keep learning about nutrition. Even if you're not perfect, the key is not to give up. You can't give up, okay? That's the key.
That's the key to success right there.
I also wanted to add that I've been the all over the place workout person, meaning that I've done, I used to do evening, and then I would even do at night. You remember, Gabby, we used to call hashtag ourselves night owls. And for me, it's more about getting it done. So like, everybody's been saying is, as long as you, whatever works best for you, but the idea is to get it done, because at the end of the day, whether you work out in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, or at night, you're still pressing play. And I agree, because I remember when I did work out at night, like I would sleep like a baby, because you know, you did the workout, you took a shower, you're ready to go to bed. So for me right now, working out in the morning works best because I'm doing it with my husband, I'm getting ready to go to work, and it's just something that I can get out of the way. But guess what? If there's a time that I can't get it in the morning, you best believe that I'm going to get it in, whether it's in the evening or at night. So it's just that kind of mentality that you're going to stick to it. And like Karen said, don't give up. Be easy on yourself. If this is your first program, I've been doing this for 6+ years, and every day, every week, every month, you get better, you get stronger, and you have to work on this, right? Because at the end of the day, you want to say, you know what, I'm going to push through and I'm going to make this happen. This is the 21-day program, right? And here we are on day 9, and you're going to keep the countdown, and that's what counts the most. And you have all of us here that, as you hear, are being supportive and, you know, motivational and inspirational, and this is where it counts. So kudos to everyone who's on this call. Kudos to everyone who started this program and who's going to finish strong.
Wendy, I remember, because we're all in different seasons of our life, so different seasons will require different parts of us. And I do remember a season where I would go on my Instagram and I knew that you would be working out at 10 p.m. I remember so clearly. I'm like, it's a 10 p.m. workout. Let's go watch Wendy. and now she wakes up, you know, at 6:30 to do her workout. Every season calls for a different, you know, different version of us. And, you know, this is a season for the morning time, Wendy. There might be another season where it's different, and it's the same for each one of us. So just honor that.
Yes. Anyone else?
Put it this way, there's no wrong way to do it as long as you do it.
I love it. I love it.
Where's the voice coming from?
Karen. Anyone else wants to share? Andina works out at night, just in case you want to link up with Andina. Andina, what time do you work out?
That's why I haven't said anything. I always work out, and I remember, Gabby, that I tried it at 5 a.m. or something one time with you.
Oh.
And it was just, I was like sleeping. I was working out and sleeping. But anyway, the thing is that I always work out at night, but I never have a set time. It could be at 8, it could be at 7, it could be at 9. It all depends how I get, you know, how I get home. Because I don't have a set time to get home.
But you always...
So that's why I haven't said anything. I always work out at night, but it's always late. It's either 7, 8, 9. It depends.
Okay, so it's whenever you can, but you got it done.
It's hard to commit to a set time at night for me.
Gotcha.
But nighttime works for me forever. For the last 6 years, I've been doing Beachbody 2 for 6 years now.
Yes, yes. Andina is the OG. She's OG T25.
Yes.
Andina has been with us since I became a coach, you guys. Andina and I go back from junior high school. And yeah, and so I invited her, and she was like, what are we doing? And every single program that comes out, especially if they are hardcore, you will find Andina right there in the front line. She just finished 6 weeks of the work. She's amazing. Mm-hmm. That's right. Anyone else want?
I like the hard ones. I do.
She does. She's hardcore. Anyone else wants to share something?
Are you able to work out twice, like in the morning and at night? Because I get off at 4:30. I can do like a 7 or a 7:30 if you want to do an evening. I mean, can you do it twice? I'm sure it wouldn't hurt to do it twice, but it's only 30 minutes. But is it okay to do it twice? I know it sounds silly, but
actually, I'm trying to undo this thing. So this is what I have to say about working out a double or doing a double. So I know many people here are runners, love to run or cycle, like to cycle, or maybe, you know, they fell behind and had to double up, right? I personally feel like if you are following a program, the nutrition plan was made for that one workout. Does that make sense? So when Megan created this program, she did not create it for you to do it twice. Otherwise, you know, it would have been written that way. But if you do want to do that, then you would have to definitely up your calorie intake. you would have to eat more.
Let me tell you something. I played myself because last week I was doing a little extra workout here and there because I want to, bless you. And I was hungry. And then my sister and I calculated, and we found that I wasn't eating enough. And I'm like, oh, and she's like, yeah, I always say this. We were making jokes, and she was like, what plan are you on? And I'm like, the plan where I'm hungry, so let's adjust.
Right. And that's the thing. Sometimes, we miscalculate or whatever, and talking it out with someone is so important. So this is why this is so important, because she's like, today she's like, I'm hungry, right? And I was like, wait a minute, what are you doing, right? But it's really talking to your coach, talking to maybe an accountability partner, so that you can discover areas of improvement or what you can do better, or maybe what you can tweak. So that's important as well. Anyone else?
But what happens to me? Can you hear me?
Who's talking?
Me. Can you hear me?
I don't know who's talking.
It's not very far away. We're not sure who's speaking.
Oh, Karina. Oh.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. I couldn't locate it. Go ahead.
So that happened to me. I have my dinner, or I have my snack and then my dinner. And, I'll go to bed like around 11. So I'm hungry. I'm hungry after dinner. I'm like, I want to eat something. But I just drink water and I go to bed a little earlier to avoid that, because I don't want to mess up my schedule. And I want to say this is the first time with MBF that I actually have followed the meal plan, because we all kind of slip in a little extra snack or a little extra something that doesn't belong in our meal. And that's me. I'm an ice cream lover. I love pizza. I'll just eat it. I'm like, oh, it's okay. Nothing will happen to me if I eat that extra slice or that bowl of ice cream or cereal. I love cereal. But after following this program, or the meal program, I have to say I don't even crave those things anymore. I've been really good. I have like stomach issues. I have a hiatal hernia. So I have to really, really watch what I eat, because it will just screw me up completely. And following this meal has improved how I feel, my moods, my energy, my cravings. I really have to say I should have done this a long time ago. I should have followed it the way it was supposed to be followed.
I'm going to piggyback on that. So Karen, I know some of us are reading this book. It's called Made to Crave. And Karen actually shared a snippet today. And I actually read that earlier last week. And but I'm actually listening to it, so probably going quicker than what Karen, she's reading it. And it talked about you crave what you focus on. And it says we consume what we think about, and what we think about can consume us if we're not careful. And one of the things that happens with our nutrition is that if you eat cereal, you're going to crave cereal tomorrow. If you eat ice cream, you're going to crave ice cream. If you, right? Yeah. And so I'm so happy that you're, following the nutrition this time around, because you're giving yourself an opportunity to see what can happen this time around, what can happen, with your body. So it's very important that we realize that when we're craving certain things, and it could also be, what you were saying, it could be the science behind it as well, that, sometimes when we're craving, or the majority of the time, there might be like an imbalance of, or deficiency in our nutrients. Like, if you are craving chocolate, for example, your magnesium levels might be off, right? And so, we can't really read that into our body. We just know that we want the chocolate. But then the more you eat the chocolate, the more you're going to think about it, and the more you're going to consume it, right? And so, so that's very important to understand in this process. And those are the ways that you can absolutely break those habits. So,
but even to add to the science piece, I remember reading that when you consume the, let's say the Skittles, right? The way that Skittles are built are to intentionally get you hooked,
Yep,
right?
of course.
It's to change
Right.
palate, to design, to make you crave and want that. So even to the point where, like, you know, what would resemble Skittle, let's say fruit, right? Something sweet. That doesn't satiate you because now your body is used to that big burst of artificial sugar. And so then there's more behind it of like what, like the science behind your brain of what happens when you consume that, plus your digestive system. I read because for me, becoming informed about this and stuff is very helpful in terms of when I make my food choices, right? And so, yeah, I love cereal, girl. I talk about it all day. I probably shouldn't. That's one of my, whew, but like I eat a bowl, I don't feel satiated. I want another bowl. You know, I just had a banging dinner right now because we're all following, you know, our meal plan. And so Jorge, you know, did mine. And I was like, ooh, I feel good.
Yeah.
Not overfull, not hungry. Like I feel good. Last meal of the day, we're good to go. And so I love that you said that. It was very powerful.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
I wanna add to that, because what we're all really saying is like what you talked about,
you're cut.
cereal and stuff like that. I know Karina had reached out to me before, and one of her favorites was Frosted Flakes, right? That has a ton of sugar, and I'm just saying, because what we're really talking about here is sugar addiction.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So the more that you're eating the sugar, the more that your body craves it. And these companies do this to design so that you keep going and asking for more, right? But now that you're eating healthier, right, and you're actually fueling your body, you don't feel the need for that anymore, because now you're getting your body used to what it really needs, right? Which is all the nutrients, right? And then you're spreading them out throughout the day. If you're following the program the way it is 2 to 3 hours. So you are eating every 2 to 3 hours. So you really shouldn't feel hungry if you're following your meal plan, right? But the sugar addiction is what gets you. So once you really work on stopping that sugar addiction, you're not going to crave it as much. Because I've always been a sweet person, and you know, whether I would say the skinny fat girl, but you know, I would still crave this stuff. But once I started really fueling my body, those cravings decreased by a lot. So good for you, Karina, because that's the key to getting results is your nutrition.
Yeah. I wanted to add one point. Perfectly said. Thank you, Wendy. If you are someone who's just starting off, like switching to a meal plan, I heard a lot of ladies say, you know, they're dabbling, they're thinking about going into it, or maybe this is the first time they've committed to it. If you feel the opposite of what Wendy is saying, it's because your body you're taking that away. So your body's like, wait, what's going on? It's calibrating itself. So if you started following the meal plan after coming off of, you know, eating whatever, probably last week, you may have really felt it like I did. And then by now, if you would have said you should feel exactly like Wendy and Karina expressed. When you put the Frosted Flakes back in, you know, you're going backwards, right? You're telling your body like crave this again. You're giving that trigger point. But I always feel it. Every time I jump back into eating healthy, I always feel the cravings in the beginning hardest, because my body, it's like it's going, quote, detox, let's call it that. If you push through the first couple days, after that, it gets better. So I don't know if anyone is feeling that or has felt that or may feel that later on. I just wanted to share that nugget. First 2 weeks is the worst.
Sugar is my weakness.
Who said? Someone said something.
Oh, I said sugar is my weakness.
To many of us.
Yeah.
Which is why Shakeology is so important. Because
I want to say something.
Go ahead.
Regarding doubling up the workouts, that you guys were saying, it's about listening to your body as well. Because for me, I can double up. I can do an hour of a workout easily. I can run for half an hour and then do a workout for half an hour, or do 2 workouts that are half an hour or 35 minutes. And my body gets tired like after an hour of a workout. like I will feel that I'm tired. So I guess it all depends on you, how you feel regarding working out and how long you can last without, without not feeling tired.
Andina, when I saw you did 3 back to back, I you because I was like, oh no,
But for me, it was fine because the last workout was just stretching. So that was, to me, that didn't count as a workout. It just counts for, for my body to relax after working out for an hour. Right. That's how I felt.
The important piece, though, I want you guys to take away is, because I have this conversation with all my girls in the chat all the time, because many of you guys go running, you guys do an extra workout. Go run, and it may be what Andina's saying, you just feel the need to keep going, to keep moving, right? You either go running, you go cycling, whatever it is. My only concern is that you will not obtain the results you're after if you are not also adjusting your nutrition. You understand what I'm saying? Because if you're burning more than what your plan says you're going to burn, right? Then you are putting yourself in a predicament, and then you're going to come back and say, yeah, but I didn't lose weight, or I'm not seeing changes in my body, and it's because you are doing more than you're expected to. I'm not saying not to do it. I don't have a problem with that. I always reach out and I say, make sure that you're eating enough, right? Because your body still needs to be fueled, you guys, right? And then sometimes we come in with the mentality, and it might not be this, but I just have to address it, that if you do more, you'll get more results. And that's not the case. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. These workouts are put together or created by professionals. These workouts and the nutrition plans were created by people that have degrees, right? And so millions of people have been put through all the programs that Beachbody has created. And so you don't have to come in here and try to tweak it because you think that by doing one more workout, you're going to get better results. Trust me, I've done the programs 110%. One workout, 20 minutes, following the nutrition, I get banging results, right? You don't have to do that extra workout. However, if you feel like you're craving that extra workout, I'm okay with that. But then you have to adjust your nutrition accordingly because you still have to feel your body. End of story.
Okay. I agree with you, Gabby. So I usually follow the program from beginning to end as is. The only time I add something in is if Rudy and I are training for some kind of race or something like that. And when that's happened, and I don't do it for a mile or 2 miles, that doesn't count. But when you're running more than 3 miles, 3, 4, 5, 6 miles, you're burning a lot of calories. So in situations like that, depending on how many times a week I'm running, then I would up, like for example, I may add an extra carb, only because I know that my body needs it, right? And running is not an easy task to do. You know, you're running nonstop. There's no breaks. There's no 10-second breaks or 15. So, you know, you have to take that into account. And so I would, you know, if that's something that I know it's happening for like the next 3 weeks because we're training for something, we would up that one piece of the meal plan. And even in other programs that we were in with like Joel or what, you know, they would say that, but you have to consider that. But yes, I agree. Gabby is right. You don't have to add or double up. And, you know, that's how people hurt themselves, you know, doing MBF and doubling up with those crazy workouts. And if you're lifting enough, because she wants you to lift heavy, you shouldn't be doing that twice back to back, because that's how you pull your back, you hurt yourself, knee problems. So, you know, just take that into consideration, trust the process, do the daily workout. And if you feel the need to do something else, do consider that you may have to, depending on how often you do it, up, you know, one of your food groups.
One other thing I want to transition into really quickly, because we're running out of time, we have like 6 more minutes, is that this is the one thing that I learned from my husband through this process, because when 80 Day Obsession came out, I was like, oh man, I would always look at a program by the amount of days. And I would be like, can I do this? Can I do 80 days? And what shifted my mindset immediately was, his question, are you going to show up every single day to work out, Gab? And my answer was yes. And he said, so don't worry about an 80-day program. Just worry about today and then worry about tomorrow when it comes. And that's how we completed an 80-day program. How do you eat an elephant, right? One bite at a time. And that's exactly how this journey is made up, you guys. That's how you're going to succeed. You just take one day at a time, and before you know it, you'll be done with this program. And then, you know, you'll start all over again, and then you'll be done with the second round. And then you do it again, and you'll be done with, you know, the advanced version. And I just want everyone to be patient with their journey. You guys, I've been doing this for 6 years. Remember, I started by telling you that I'm not into working out. I'm still not into working out, okay? I told you I'm not outdoorsy. I told you I'm not, you know, into sports. That's who I am. What do I enjoy? I love feeling the empowerment I get after working out, the accomplishment I get, right? The fact that I feel healthy and strong and energized. I love that. I love that. But the other piece to all of this is that it did not happen overnight. I've been doing this for 6 years, and when it clicked, and it took me 3 years for it to click. Some people it might be sooner. Some people it might just be 3 weeks, right? I doubt it. But it took me 3 years. And why am I still here 6 years later? Because I never gave up. It was messy. Trust me, it was messy during those 3 years. But I still showed up. I still showed up. And so that's all I want you to take away from this. This is your journey. Just get inspired by everyone, right? But never compare yourself, because we have ladies that have already lost 7.5 pounds, ladies that have lost 4 pounds, and maybe you just lost 1 pound. So that's amazing. The fact that you're here, that is amazing progress. That is an amazing accomplishment. And you have to pat yourself in the back, because sometimes, you know, we tend to minimize our, you know, accomplishments. Oh man, I wish. No, celebrate every single step of the way. The fact that you've, you know, worked out, the fact that you made a better choice, the fact that you're here, you know, empowering yourself with other ladies and cheering someone else on and showing up for someone else as they show up for you. So just be, you know, I think it was Karen who said, have grace, but be patient, and eventually it'll click. But just never, ever give up. And when you, listen to me, I've fallen off the wagon. Just get back up and reach out to your coach. That's why you have a coach. That's why you have a group. That's why the majority of you have a chat. Reach out, you guys. You're not doing this alone. All right? Anyone else, you want to say something? All right. All right, so I think we're good. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining. We're going to do this again on Thursday next week. I know that I kind of switched things up this week, but I wanted to check in. Guys, if you're struggling with the nutrition and you don't know what plan, please don't be embarrassed to reach out to your coach. We are here for you, and we will help you figure out where you are, and we're going to break it down, because what we want is for you guys to get the optimal results. All right? All right, have a great night, guys.
Good night.